Alright, welcome. This is going to be kicking off my new review series of knives. I got about 10 or 12 that I'm going to be doing for you in the next few weeks when I get the time. I haven't been able to do anything in the last couple years because I didn't have a camera, but now I do, so enjoy. What you got in front of you is a Zero Tolerance. That's a Kershaw brand if you're not familiar with them already. This is a Zero Tolerance 0200. And this is a Zero Tolerance 0100. This is the fixed blade brother to this one. They both have the same handle. The dimensions might be slightly different, but in your hand you don't know the difference. So let's get right into it. The 0200 has a 4-inch blade made out of 154 cm stainless steel at right around 59 Rockwell. The grind is 25 degrees on the dot. This is a serrated version. It's got an inch of serrations. It's got the Kershaw serrations, those stupid oval flower petal shaped ones. It's chisel ground like most serrations are. I don't really care for the Kershaw serrations. I think they're too delicate. But anyways, that's my opinion, so that doesn't really matter. Moving on. It's a partial flat ground blade. It's not hollow ground, which a lot of people might assume it is, since it's not, or since it's has machining on it like that. But it is flat grind, or it is a flat grind. It's got massive thumb studs on it. It's got good jimping on the top. Half of it is kind of buried underneath the handle, but what is there on the thumb ramp is extremely effective. Check out this pivot pin. The inner circle on this 12mm nut is the thinnest part of the pivot. The thickest part on the outside diameter, where it rides or where it mates with the phosphor bronze bushing, is 1/4 of an inch. Huge. So very well made and very stout is what I'll call it. Oh, the blade is a drop point. Here, let me move my hand. It's a drop point, so with a recurve, and as I said earlier, serrations. Moving on to the handle. It's 3D Machine G10, extremely aggressive. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's not textured like a lot of G10. It is actually machined. The actual surface of the G10 in between these is smooth, but the machining makes it extremely aggressive. The handle actually has swells, so it's a thin point here and a thin point just under the pocket clip, and then in the middle it gets fatter, so it's got palm swells on it. The construction is a full flow-through pillar design. The liners are 100,000ths of an inch thick, and they're skeletonized to try to shed some weight. The pillars aren't just straight pillars either. They're machined, so then maybe that's trying to save some weight. It's got massive number 10 Torx screws holding the handle on. So, I mean, like I said, everything on this knife is just beefy. The blade stop pin is 120,000ths. That's pretty standard for Kershaw. Excuse me. So that's not too crazy big, but still very stout. Something I want to show you right here is on the flipper there's a little notch, and it will come around, and what actually stops this blade from closing from closing anymore is that flipper comes in and mates with that stop pin. So if you can see that there, the blade isn't touching anything. No part of the cutting edge is touching anything when the knife is closed. So that's a cool little design feature that somebody thought of, and it's obviously well thought out. Moving on here, 4-way pocket clip. It actually rides really deep in your pocket for how big of a knife it is. There's the holes on this side, and I've got it oriented for tip down as of right now. The G10 on this will grab your pants like crazy. We all know how G10 can tear up the lip of your pocket, like on the Cold Steel Recon 1. This is about as aggressive as jimping as you're gonna, jimping, G10 as you're gonna get on a knife, and it doesn't touch the zero tolerance. This will tear up your pockets. This will just absolutely take your pockets out and murder them. Okay, going on to dimensions. The handle is 5 1/4 inches long. It's 1 inch wide here. It's 3/4 of an inch thick. And then under the with the pocket clip included, it's just over 1 inch thick. The handle with the blade closed is at its thickest, going from the top of the thumb ramp to the back of the flipper, and that's just over 2 inches. Then it goes to 1.8 inches without the flipper. So all in all, just a massive, massive, massive knife. EDC, absolutely not. It's too big, too heavy. I mean, if you think it's cool, that's fine. But for me, absolutely not an EDC blade. It's just to borrow a term from Nut and Fancy, that's the second kind of cool to me. Especially when you pair it with its fixed blade brother. So that's my review on the Zero Tolerance 0200. I'll be reviewing the 100 separately. I just wanted to put them two together so you could see them. Alright, well, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you got any questions or comments, you can either put them in the comment section or PM me directly, and I'll get back to you at soonest the same day or at the most a week. So please be patient. If you got a question, I'll most likely get back to you that day or the next, but I want to say a week just so you're not waiting and I don't get back to you that day. So thanks for tuning in. If you like what you see, subscribe. Go check out some of my older vids. You might like them, and if you do, that's great. If not, there's plenty of other great reviewers out there. So hopefully you'll be tuning back in. Thanks for tuning in, and have a good night.